Um, so these three get together and decide that the Empire has some problems and they want to help out in any way they can so they can defend Emperor and country, I guess. I really have. They basically want to do their duty to. That bothers me. They want to. What are you doing? Stop that. No. Stop. Stop doing what you're doing. Damn it. Alright. Anyway, they want to do their duty for the country. So they decide that they're going to get together and set out to join the military as a group, and offer their services. This is all well and good, except at the time, they don't have horses, and they don't have weapons or pretty much anything at all, ever. Um, but, either way, they get together, they pledge brotherhood under the peach blossoms in Zhengfei's farm. They pledge that even though they were not born together, they can at least die together, striving to bring the Han back into power. Which basically sets the mood for their entire, like, characters. Like, sets up the mood for their entire arc in this series. They're very hard up on that. Let's see. I don't really want either of those. What about here? In the hills, in the mountains. Sorry, taking a second here so I can look at these things. I need to get some water or something. Do something for this poor throat of mine. An aqueduct going. Who else? No, you're just gonna keep making settlers. Really missing the opportunities there, not naming someplace Catan, but whatever. But yeah, they get together, make this pledge in the Peach Garden, and they realize that they don't have horses or really anything to speak of. So they decide that... Oh shit, that was the wrong one. That's not what I wanted. Where'd he go? Go there. They decide to figure out how they're going to fix this, and as they're discussing this, merchants selling horses that came from their trade a little bit earlier come into the area and proceed to do something a little odd. The three of them get together and throw a party for these guys and like, hey, we understand that that you're merchants, but listen, we really need horses, general supplies for reinstating the Han dynasty. Can you guys help us out a little bit? And to their credit, those merchants help out. Those merchants help out to the tune of 50 horses. Not bad. What they wanted in the first place. 500 ounces of gold and silver. You know what? They're merchants. Maybe they've got a lot of gold and silver in hand, and decide to just give it up to help some random dude. Like, maybe they're pretty decent people. I don't know. I don't know these guys. I don't know their life. Oh, that was bad. Don't ever let me do that again. But yeah, they give them 500 ounces of gold and silver, and also, I cannot imagine why they had this on hand at the time, but they also end up giving them 1,500 pounds of steel worthy of making weapons. I'm just gonna automate this guy. 1,500 pounds! That is absurd! Why would they even have that? They were horse merchants! But in any case, that's what happens. They end up with this absurd amount of steel and gold and silver. And so, the people of the village that they were in decide to get together and use some of the steel to make weapons for these three great guys who are going out to make sure everything settles down. So for Liu Bei, they decide to forge twin ancient swords. I don't know what about them makes them ancient. I don't have any cross correlation for that. It's just the way they're described in the translation I have. For Guan Yu, they make the Green Dragon Saber. It is this beast of like a pole arm, the long pole arm with the slashing end on it. Not the stabbing end that you see on spears, the slashing end. This long pole arm with this weird end on it. And this pole arm weighs 120 pounds, according to the book. Think about that. They expect this guy, who admittedly ends up probably being able to anyway, they expect this guy to carry into every fight, while on horseback, a 120-pound polearm. It's absurd. And then, for Chong Fei, they craft what they called the Serpent Halberd. It's a 10-foot spear. That's it. I feel like Chong Fei gets the shaft in a lot of these descriptions. No pun intended on that spear joke. So all in all, after they manage this, they gather up 500 men and join the army to quell this Yellow Turban rebellion that's going on. And in their very first engagement, they manage to make a name for themselves. They go onto the field of battle, and Chong Fei, Guan Yu, Liu Bei, all of them just charge the front lines of the enemy lines. And while they're charging, Liu Bei personally reprimands the entire enemy army by mocking them for not staying with the empire at the time. Kind of fair, honestly, I would think. And as this happens, we get into a thing that I feel needs a little bit of explanation. Anyone who doesn't read into ancient history very often may be a little blindsided by the way some things happen in this book. Namely, there are a lot of instances where one guy goes out to fight one guy, and then the end of that fight predicts the end of the battle in question. This is a thing that was fairly common among ancient civilizations, called champion combat. And it's pretty much exactly how it sounds. You take your best guy, dress him up in the best fucking armor and weapons you can get your hands on, make him look amazing, get him out in front of the enemy lines. The enemy puts out their best looking dude, their strongest guy, and your guy and his guy go to town on each other. They start beating the shit out of each other. A lot of the time in this book, it's mounted combat. But in other cultures, especially the Greek culture, a few 100 years beforehand, it was really common. It was really common for it to be on foot, mostly because that's how the Greeks ended up doing a lot of their combat. We are running out of feud. I need to fix that. I also need to get some trade routes going. Why don't I have any of those? I built all these fucking settlers, and I don't know what I want to do with them. They can go to Macau. Give me a minute here, and I'll go back to speaking about our lovely book. Okay. I think it's... Oh, no, that's right. I wanted to make a... We don't have a whole lot of food all over the place, do we? Whatever. We're going to purchase a caravan real quick, because I don't want to take the time to build one.